Into the floor. See, that's what's important for young players to do to impress people is to play both ends of the floor. And this is what he did tonight. He had his hands, he had 6 steals. I know he had his hands on another 3.
Well, he definitely had his hands on the cookie jar with those 6 steals. As Rockets postgame gets underway here, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, alongside the Hall of Famer Calvin Murphy. Adam Wexler here with you. It is just a 5-point victory, and you brought up some of those turnovers. They had far too many of them, and a lot of them came late in this game. 39 points off 21 turnovers made the margin much smaller, but they had a good second quarter and early third to give them a cushion.
You know, I'm not making excuses because most of the game they were very lackadaisical. But they had no respect for Washington's team whatsoever. They did enough to win. When Washington tried to mount a comeback, then they would turn up the juice again. But these are the kind of games that the Rockets, if they're going to be one of the elite, have got to realize they got to go out and punish these teams so that other teams will fear them. See, the one thing that happens to the Rockets is because they got a reputation of being a good team and they got Kevin Durant, teams bring their A game to play against them. The Rockets have to start recognizing that. They don't want people sneaking up on them.
Yeah, another 30-point night for Kevin Durant, a 32-point night for Alperen Şengün, a humongous rebound advantage, which we'll get into quite a bit. The Rockets do get the win here, take 2 out of the 3 games on these games against Eastern Conference teams on the road, return home for that game on Thursday. The message you had for the Rockets, let's see if Ime Udoka had a similar one as we check in with him after the game.
Ime, it seemed like it was a bit of a slow start for you guys in that first quarter. What did you see, and what did you see about how your team was able to push through that?
Weren't that physical at the start. They made, I think, 7 or 8 threes in the first quarter. Some non-shooters made shots, but we weren't as physical as we needed to be, and better job after that, ramping it up, going over screens, not daring guys to shoot.
It seems like you guys really took advantage of the size advantage you had against a team that was playing with, a smaller lineup. What were you guys able to do, particularly with Alperen and the rebounding advantage you guys were able to rack up?
Yeah, deep post position. To your point, playing against an inferior team, quite honestly, and what you're supposed to do.
What did you think of Reed's performance tonight on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, solid. He was obviously very aggressive offensively, got 6 or 7 steals, so his activity was great there. Yeah, good job.
Did those steals, of those steals, would you break them down? I know you've talked about him gambling at times for steals. Did tonight seem like a game where he was doing that, or was it more just positioning?
No, those are good attempts. I think it's more so when he is on the ball and in shooting motion. Some of the slap down, bailout fouls there. He has great instincts and hands, and we want him to make plays, especially in the passing lane or off the ball. And, you're going to live with those. It's more so the bailout foul reach downs that he's doing a much better job avoiding.
It seemed like Durant had some success attacking hard closeouts today, even with some of the shooting struggles he's had this season. What have you noticed about the way that teams close out against him?
Yeah, I mean, that's the reputation. It's going to take some time this year to get your legs rhythm shot back after missing that amount of time coming off surgery, but that'll happen eventually. And tonight looked like a step in the right direction as far as his pop and some explosion.
Any other questions?
Does a game like tonight from Reed, I know we talked about the starting lineup decision before the game, is that stay the same, or does tonight's game change anything for that?
We'll see. A man rolled his ankle, and we got to wait on Jabari, so we'll see at the time.
When did a man roll his ankle?
Fourth quarter.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Doing it, and you were too, Cal.
But the only problem I have with the fact that the Rockets were able to be a plus 32 tonight, they only had 8 points in fast breaks. When you can rebound that well, you've got to push the tempo. You've got to get down and get as many opportunity baskets as possible. But they kind of knew they could score when they wanted to, so they went into a half-court set. But I want to see, especially in the playoffs, because playoff basketball is a lot of half-court set. So you've got to, when you get the opportunity to get opportunity baskets, you've got to go for it.
Yeah, probably a few fast break points lost on some of those turnovers, and their half-court offense was obviously so successful. Much of that coming from Amen Thompson, our key up player profile. Amen Thompson actually started this game, Calvin, by missing his first 4 shots there in the first quarter. Didn't score. And then he was 10 of 11 the rest of the way on his 22-point night.
Well, you know, he's going to score, and it doesn't necessarily have to be by jump shot. Just his activity, his movement around the basket, going to keep him involved in the offense. His teammates love to look for him, especially when he's running that baseline.
And he hit that corner three off a nice feed from Reed Sheppard. Did hear from Ime moments ago, if you guys missed it, with a little over 8 minutes left in the game. He came out, went back to the locker room. They called it a tweak of the ankle. We'll see about Thursday, but these are the kind of games, again, 22 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, another double-double. That's what he does.
You know, I don't think that the viewers that watch the game really can appreciate how valuable he is, not just to the Rockets, but in the NBA scheme of things. Whatever team he plays for, or that he would play with, he can show them so many different areas of his game. He can walk right into an offense, not be a part of the offense, and still score with his movement. See, that's very impressive for a lot of players that don't particularly want to move unless they have the ball.
Yeah, only a few times in this game was he really isoing. He had that jumper from the elbow when they were giving him all that space, hit the three, most of his shots right there around the rim as per usual. Teammates know where he's going to be. One of the quickest leapers in
Absolutely.
the NBA, so he took care of business. Get back out to Washington and get a full recap of this one from Craig and Ryan.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Rockets, Ryan, tonight here in D.C. Another win over the Wizards. Their 7th in a row, wrapping up the road trip. 2 wins and 1 loss. Back in the win column again after that loss in Miami. Rockets were outscored by 30 points from the three-point line here tonight. It's rare when a team wins a game in that scenario, but they did because, A, the Rockets out-rebounded the Wizards by 32. They outshot them at the free throw line and had terrific games from Kevin Durant, Alperen Şengün, Reed Sheppard, and Amen Thompson.
And hats off to Washington. They're young and developing, but they came out and competed, played hard, had a bit of a scrappy moment there. And the future's going to be bright with bringing Trae Young and Anthony Davis next year. But, hey, man, I think the biggest takeaway that you brought up, you know, Reed Sheppard stepping in, playing hard, the 10 assists stand out, looking for his leadership, obviously learning everything he can in Fred VanVleet's absence. But Reed Sheppard, just a phenomenal game, and the plus-minus was there. But, again, going to a situation like this, get better, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, a career-high 10 assists, a career-high 6 steals, career-high tying 2 blocks, had 7 rebounds and 19 points, 4 more threes. Incredible all-around game for Reed Sheppard. Kevin Durant back home. Again, we talked a lot about Alperen Şengün, who had an awesome game. Took advantage of the matchup tonight. 32 points, 12 rebounds. Again, the 22 and 12 for Amen Thompson. But yet, you look up and you're like, oh, Kevin Durant scored 30 again, and he did so in his hometown.
Well, you knew it was an Alperen Şengün type of game. They outscored Washington because of Şengün, but what, 22 in the paint? So he did his job. But, I mean, it's unbelievable what Kevin Durant can do as far as scoring the basketball when he turned it on. And when he is pressed with Vanessa, the interview, he goes, yeah, I knew in the second half I had this many points, 16 in the second half.
He also knew all of Reed Sheppard's stats. And I don't think
6 steals.
Yeah.
How do you know he had 6? Kevin, we want to know, how did you know Reed Sheppard had 6 steals?
I don't think he had looked at a box score at any point up until that point, but he knew all of his numbers. Pretty crazy.
He's a savant. I mean, it's unbelievable, Kevin. So let us know your trick with the stats. How you know? He knows it better than we know it. He's playing in the game.
So, again, Amen Thompson had to leave the ball game a little bit early. We hope he's okay. The Rockets don't have to play again until Thursday, so hopefully he's going to get healed up before then. But, again, a good win here for the Rockets. The Wizards shot lights out from 3, but the Rockets did so much else better than they did. Ultimately pulled out this 123-118 victory as they come home. I believe, 8 of the Rockets' next 10 games will be at Toyota Center. So looking forward to seeing everybody in Houston when we come back. So, guys, until then, back to you.
Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. $123-118 the final. We take a look at the starting 5 box score in this one. Easy money for the 30, but the Rockets' leading scorer right there, Alperen Şengün, hit 12 of his 20 shots right at the basket. Calvin knew he had the advantage, continued to take advantage of it on the interior.
Well, the smartest thing that the Rockets can do against teams that they're bigger than, obviously, is to start inside out. I talk so much about ball movement going from inside out, but when you have the advantage the way the Rockets had it today with Alpha, you don't necessarily have to take it to the outside unless they double team you, which I didn't see any of that from Washington tonight, double teaming him whatsoever. I don't understand that. What's the game plan when the fellas just scored 5 layups on you, down low, and you don't double team them? What's the game plan? Would you please educate me on that?
I wish I could. I'm not in their huddle, and I don't know what would be said if you were. And all this kind of started in that second quarter.
Yes.
You had a 15-point second quarter. That's when they built their lead, and it's because they just refused to, I guess, change their defensive philosophy. And he just said, one-on-one, I'm not going to be stopped by this group.
You know what helps him also is the fact that if you watch, you got KD that plays on the same side of the floor with him. So I guess they're afraid to double team down low, coming off of KD, knowing what he can do.
You know, one thing KD did do a lot of tonight, he got the repost going. If Alpi sent it back out to him, he just bounced it right back to him, knowing he had the advantage, had a chance to catch up with Alperen Şengün in the Rockets locker room after the game.
I think 14 turnovers combined between you and Kevin. What were you guys seeing on some of those giveaways?
Yeah, we were bullshitting out there. We got some way many turnovers out there, you know. But we fix it, you know, with some films, and, you know, it's easy to fix that next game.
Did you notice a consistent theme with the giveaways?
What?
Did you notice a consistent issue on those turnovers?
Did I know?
Was there the same thing happening again and again on those turnovers?
Yeah, you know, we were just, they were guarding one-on-one, and we lost some balls like that, and then, you know, attacking the crowd, that was the key, I think.
What do you think of Reed's performance tonight, really getting going on both ends of the floor?
He was amazing. You know, he was almost getting his quarter double out there, 6 steals, 7 rebounds. We should have known, let him get some rebounds in the second half, but, you know, we didn't know, so he did a great job for us.
Ime talked about how the Wizards are obviously an inferior team. Is it tough at times to get yourself up to the level of competition when you know you're playing against a team with a record like theirs?
Yeah, I think we been bad on playing, not really focused on bad teams. So not bad teams, I would say, but like, you know, young teams, and, you know, we keep doing that mistakes. But, you know, end of the season is all comes to, you know, focus and being motivated in the game. So that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you, Alpi. Thanks, Alpi.